So what's going on, guys? MrDalekJD here, and I know you've clicked on this video, you've read the title, and you're going, what the hell is this? There's no way in hell that Kino Der Toten is being remade as a Cold War Zombies DLC, but by the end of this video, I will guarantee you that this is happening, and you'll be shocked at how obvious Treyarch have teased this. So trust me, guys, it's well worth watching this video all the way through, because your minds are going to be blown. Just before we jump into that sellout Dalek here, just to remind you that my code Dalek is 30% off everything at G Fuel from today until the 7th. So if you want to grab a restock or try it before Christmas, check out the link below. Now, a few days ago, I made a video discussing a Zombies DLC location in Vietnam. That's not gone anywhere. Today, we're talking about a separate DLC map to that. And it's a map that's going to be set in Berlin. Now, I know I'm not the first person to cover this topic, but I didn't want to cover all of the Zombies DLC locations so soon after the game coming out. But with Vietnam discussions a few days ago and Season 1 only a week away, I thought this was a great time. Now, this is the part where the penny is going to drop and it's going to secure any doubts you had in your mind about Kino being a location that we'll see. As when we go to the main menu of Cold War Zombies and go to our creator class, we can see the creator class menu includes this very strange computer that's showing a map location. Now, Treyarch being Treyarch haven't just included this location as just a random detail. This has obviously got some sort of purpose that they want us to notice. And I certainly couldn't make it out, but thanks to Eric Maynard and one unknown player on Twitter, they were able to pinpoint exactly where this was, and in particular the red dot that Treyarch have left on this map. So looking at the screen in more detail, it is a map showing Berlin, but a very specific part of Berlin. So if we input this on Google Maps and then go to Street View, you see one very suspicious looking tower. This tower is called the Berliner Fernsehturm, and this exact tower can be seen outside the map on Kino Der Toten by double tap. This is no joke. This has always existed since Black Ops 1. It's there in the Chronicles remaster as well. And it is 100% the exact same tower. Treyarch wouldn't put a computer screen showing the exact location of this tower in the Zombies menu if we weren't going to see it in Cold War Zombies. And this exact tower is seen in Kino Der Toten. Putting 2 and 2 together, we are 1,000,000% going to see a Berlin Zombies map that will contain Kino Der Toten. I mean, why else would Treyarch have that red dot pinpointed exactly on that specific part of Berlin right near that tower? So with that being said, and it being nearly guaranteed we're going to see Kino Der Toten, how exactly are we going to see it? Well, we don't know this answer for sure, but we can speculate and give a reasonable guess that we're going to see a full-blown map which will contain Kino Der Toten, just like how we've seen with Die Maschine containing the entirety of Nackda and Toten, but not being entirely based around it. If you go out of bounds on Kino Der Toten in Black Ops 3 and look at the tower, you can see that it's behind some buildings that are along a main busy street where we can see vehicles, we can see buildings, and it's very likely that we're going to be seeing something similar as the main Zombies map premise. It's going to be a portion of this section of Berlin which is going to contain perhaps multiple different buildings for us to enter, and one of them is going to be an abandoned theater which is going to be Kino Der Toten. That way, they're keeping in the theme with Die Maschine where it's including places we've been to before, but it's not making it the full central part of the map. Like with Die Maschine, you go through Nackda and Toten, but you don't even really think about it anymore. Now, along with this teaser in the menu, we also have intel from Onslaught that talks about a zombies outbreak occurring in a KGB facility near Berlin. Now, just before we go into that, I also want to talk about some of the other moments that Cold War has been in Berlin. There's one particular campaign mission called Brick in the Wall, which takes place in East Berlin. Parts of this mission include you being able to free roam around, which is something unlike Call of Duty normally has done, where you can walk around a street and enter into a busy bar. Now, I don't know if this will have any reflection on what this Berlin Zombies map might look like or entail, but it's super cool to see that this is what Treyarch have already done with a Berlin setting. Sheer scale of this is pretty impressive enough just in a campaign level, but Treyarch are notorious for using campaign assets in Zombies maps just because if the assets already exist, it saves on development time and in-house development costs to make entirely new assets from scratch. The vibes are just really, really cool. And surely I'm not the only one that sees this surrounding area and thinks that it looks very much like the exact location that Samantha is in during the intro cutscene for Die Maschine, which also takes place in East Berlin. But now let's jump into the canon Cold War storyline that involves a gateway opening in Berlin. Now this story involves a girl called Gertrude Bowman, who's a caretaker for a secret KGB training site where she witnesses a dimensional breach occur inside the facility. This character was asked to help safeguard a secret training facility that the KGB were constructing next to her farm near Bonsdorf. Now, Bonsdorf is a district in Berlin, Germany, located in the southeast of the city. And on Google Maps, is about a 45-minute drive from the tower, so it's nearby. Too nearby to be just a coincidence. Then one day, these grey men arrived in their suits and she led them through the facility, and that's when it happened. There was an otherworldly sound and a flash of light in what has come to think of as an airplane hangar. She was standing away from the group, having what feared might be her last cigarette, but whatever that light was, it engulfed the KGB inspectors and heard them scream. She ran to assist with injuries, but as her vision cleared, she could see they were changed. They were howled like lost souls and lumbered towards her. She barely managed to latch the door with them inside, so what does she do now? She's still locked within the hangar and she doesn't know who to contact. The next day, she was visited from KGB agents looking for their inspectors. Obviously, she was still alive to write this message, but only because she knew what to expect and prepared accordingly. And after the KGB delegation were altered or infected, reanimated, she didn't know what happened, she returned home and drove their car to an old lignite mine a few kilometers away. Inspectors arrived the morning before dawn, breaking down her front door and roosting her from her bed. She showed the appropriate amount of fear and confusion when she said the inspectors had failed to report back. She told them that she toured the facility with them, who seemed upset by what they found, and they argued all the way back to her house, some wanting to report to Moscow immediately, others insisting they drive straight to Stasi HQ in Berlin. One thing they did agree on was to have the entire place dusted for prints. She did not know why they were so agitated, but they were definitely looking for someone to blame, and before they left, they thanked her, saying they might require her testimony in the days to come. All she knew is that she had to come up with a plan, and fast. But someone else got wind of all of this and gave her a soft knock at the door about an hour after sunset, and it was a woman in her 30s, German-like, gold-haired, and quite handsome, though she wore no wedding ring. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Samantha Maxis. All she had to say was that she was here to deal with her little problem and allowed her inside. She was aware of what happened to the KGB inspectors, and all she would tell Gertrude is that she knew of similar incidents taking place elsewhere, though they were kept out of the news even in the West. Samantha told her that she worked for an organization that would eliminate all trace of what happened in the hangar, and additionally, she had arranged for someone to smuggle her to West Berlin where a new identity was being prepared for her. She packed one bag and says goodbye to the only home she's ever known. But if others out there are affected by whatever this plague curse is, then she must count her blessings and consider herself lucky to have made a new friend. Now, there's got to be a reason why Samantha chose this specific woman, Gertrude, as someone to save and someone that she wants to help. We're absolutely going to see Samantha in a big way in the future DLC maps, but this could be another character that we could be getting used to hearing more about in the coming months when we get new Cold War zombies. But with all the evidence of a Berlin map location and Treyarch teasing this tower, which is right next to Kino Der Toten, it almost guarantees that Kino Der Toten is going to be seen in zombies in the future as a remake. But I'd love to know in the comment section, what do you think of this if it does happen? I'm sure most of you are going to have the same opinion as me, that you are just itching for some actual new original content where there's nothing reused from another zombies map. It's just entirely new, as technically we've not had a purely original zombies map since Gorod Krovi. Every other map since has just been a remake, but I will give credit to Die Maschine. It does not feel like a remake whatsoever. It feels like a brand new map because Nacht is such a small part of the overall map that if they were to do the same with Kino, I would not be disappointed at all. In fact, I'll be really, really happy. And the fact that we have this new storyline, but we're still going back to some of these old familiar places, it's going to be a nostalgia trip and a half, and I think it's a fantastic idea. Kino Der Toten is easily one of the most iconic zombies maps that we have ever seen, and with the idea of really going into the backstory of this abandoned cinema, it could be fantastic with what they could do with the storyline for it. They really could do some amazing things. But again, it's not even confirmed. It's just teased heavily by Treyarch, and I'm sure we won't really know the answer to if it is or isn't happening for a good few months from now. But if you enjoyed this video, it got you thinking, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Be sure to drop a like rating on this video and subscribe with the bell turned on so you don't miss out on a future upload. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I appreciate you all so much, and I'll see you in another video very soon.